Now, I know you've just taken on this role, but as you mentioned earlier in the interview, you've had a long-standing interest in the tech front. So when it comes to these challenges with Google and Facebook, but Google today, the ACCC releasing this report on its advertising dominance, how do you see the way to sort of level the playing field here with these tech giants, and not just in news media, but more broadly advertising as we see today?
I think the big thing that drives them and the reason they grow is because of their access to data and the way that's used. So I think people are becoming everyday people are becoming a lot more alive and alerted to the fact that their data, the way that it's used, the way it's obtained, and the way it might go to third parties and the way that it's forced or encouraged, accelerated the growth of these firms, that's a big issue. The way that the firms might basically snuff out competition as well by acquiring them. That's a big issue in terms of competition law. Obviously in the area of the media and its longer term survival, that's very important, though I've got some concerns about the way that the government's shaped up its response to this issue. And I think obviously tech does a lot of great things in terms of enabling us to do things differently, but it's got a massive deflationary impact, and it's probably had a big impact in terms of keeping wages low longer term, and automation and the role on jobs. So there's a whole stack of things, Kieran, that need to be thought of longer term. We want the benefits of tech, but not at the expense of the broader economy, and being able to find the midway point, very crucial.
Indeed, and I guess that's the whole issue about the next generation of jobs as well, that so many of our students today, universities, and certainly those younger, will be entering fields that aren't even in existence yet. Yeah.
I'm deeply concerned about the fact that we need to have very strong support for research and development in this country, because it's going to think through the new ways that businesses operate into the future. So making sure that we have that support there is important. Unfortunately, the government backed down on an insane proposal to get rid of the way in which the R&D tax incentive operated in this country. We do need to make sure that people are skilled up for work into the future as well. I am concerned that Australian business relative to overseas counterparts don't invest in technology to the same level, and we can't afford to be left behind. I am concerned that we don't have a national approach for emerging technologies like artificial intelligence that really are going to generate an economic bonanza for a lot of other countries, and they've understood full well, Kieran, that they need to invest in this space. And we are just dragging our feet there. I mean, there are all these pieces that we do need to think through, and we need to look after people that are affected by technological change in work right now, and we need businesses and governments to think through that stuff as well, and just not leave it that it's an afterthought as to what impact technology has on employment. There's a whole stack of stuff there that we do need to have a much broader and much more cohesive approach to the way that we deal with technology in the economy, and I think that'll be a big focus, apart from the fact of what we do with respect to the impact of COVID on our economy. These are the type of things we need to think deeply about.
Does the shift to Mark Butler health, he's moved into health, Chris Bowen of the right faction goes into climate and emissions, are you worried that will see voters, traditional Labor voters included, think that Labor has lost its commitment on dealing with climate change? Absolutely not. I think someone like Chris Bowen, who thinks deeply about these issues and recognises its importance and recognises the challenge, having been in a sort of economic portfolio in times past, recognises the importance of us having a climate change response that not only deals with emissions but generates jobs as well. This can be a jobs bonanza for the country if we get this right. It can also, by ensuring that we have some sort of coherent energy policy, which we don't have right now. Frankly, we've had a government that has attempted over a countless number of 20 times to bring in an energy policy. Manufacturers need access to efficiently generated, competitively priced energy, and Chris Bowen will get that. And as Anthony described in his press conference, when you look at someone with Mark Butler's background and the fact that he's thought deeply, either he's been in the mental health portfolio previously, written extensively and thought extensively about the impact of ageing
on Australian society and the economy, and the fact that he will be able to move into that health portfolio quite easily is very important. I think the other thing I might make this observation too, Kieran, you know, politicos who will look at this very in minute detail, you know, compare and contrast. The Morrison government talked up that they'd do a big reshuffle, and it was a pipsqueaks reshuffle, very minor. You know, people would have suggested that Anthony Albanese either mirror that or not take on big moves, because reshuffles are very difficult to pull off and complicated things to manage. He has moved forward with confidence, with certainty and a determination to ensure that we've got a front bench that can take it up to the government in what is being widely considered as a potential election year. I think the contrasts are pretty big, and Albo's basically said, no, we're going to put forward a team that we think will put us in a good place, and we'll take the fight up to the government. So I think that reflects a lot on his confidence and strength in being able to put forward the reshuffle in the way that he has.